Cultural misunderstandings remain one of the biggest challenges. Nanay mo blue. Girl, he's the man. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Howdy. If you are new here, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my stories and tips. Do you know that according to a 2024 study, intercultural marriages are at an all-time high? Yet, cultural misunderstandings remain one of the biggest challenges. And for Filipino expats, blending traditions, expectations, and personal values can feel like walking on a tightrope. That's why today I want to share my personal journey in navigating an intercultural relationship and the lessons I've learned that can help you thrive. So let me start with my own story because I believe that sharing real experiences make these lessons more relatable. I am married to a non-Filipino. He's from the West and I am from Asia. Naturally, we have different beliefs and cultures. And yes, we don't always agree with each other's views, but that's okay. Over time, we've learned how to bridge those gaps instead of letting them divide us. And one thing I truly admire about my husband is his patience, the kind I never had. He speaks and communicates so well, which balances me out and helps us work through misunderstandings. He knows things I don't know, and I know things he does not. That's how we complete each other. He's also willing to understand my culture and where I'm coming from. Like, girl, he's the man. Back when we were dating, he even flew to Croatia just to see me. Kaya wag niyo sabihin sa akin yung salitang busy. People who truly love and care for you will always make things happen. Even though he's a very busy person, he always makes time for me. And here's the best part. When you are with the right person, your feminine side comes out naturally. You don't have to force it. You just feel safe, valued, and loved. Now, while my story sounds beautiful, let's be real. Intercultural relationships are not always easy. There are unique challenges that Filipino expats like me often face when love crosses culture. So let's break down the three biggest ones I've personally experienced. First is the communication styles. As Filipinos, we often say things that sound natural to us because we don't want to offend anyone, right? But when it's translated into English, it can sound totally different or even offensive. Let's say, for example, if we say nanay mo blue in Filipino, it's just a playful banter. But if you translate it literally into English, your mom is blue. People will look at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? Or the other way around. When someone says in English, I don't care, they usually mean, I don't mind. But for us Filipinos, if we translate it, it will be wala akong pakialam. It comes across as very harsh, almost like an insult. Because honestly, we can be a little bully with how we interpret things. And here's another thing. Your tone matters. Us Filipinos have different dialects, which also means we have different accents. Sometimes I will say something with my accent and my partner gets confused. He is not sure if I am frustrated or if I'm being genuine. Even if I'm saying something positive, if my tone does not match, he thinks I'm pretending. That's why adjusting your tone is so important. My friends even joke about it, like, how can you sound so sweet and soft when you speak English? But the moment you switch to your dialect, you're like you're like an unstoppable dog barking. So yeah, communication is not just about words, it's about the tone, the accent, and the cultural lens behind them. Next is the family expectations. We all know the reason why many Filipinos work abroad and become expats. It's very simple. We want to provide for our families. It's part of our culture and values. Utang na loob, responsibility, and deep family ties. But this mindset does not always align with my partner's culture. He was raised in the West, where independence is a normal thing. By the time they turn 18, most young people move out, figure out life on their own, and their parents don't expect them to send money back home. In fact, in many Western cultures, it's considered a shame if parents rely financially on their children because the mindset is, I don't want to be a burden to my kids. Now, compare that with Filipino culture. If you work overseas, there's an unspoken obligation to send money back home. And when you get married, sometimes the expectation extends to your partner too. And that they should also help support your side of the family. Let me give you an example. My parents once asked me to send money for my brother's bill. And naturally, as a Filipino, I felt that pressure. But my partner stepped in and said, he should work for it. Nothing is free. Everything we have, we worked hard for. Money does not just grow somewhere for you to pick it up. Life is expensive. And at first, that was hard for me to hear because it felt like I was saying no to my family. But then I realized he was not being selfish, he was teaching me a different perspective, responsibility and accountability. And it made me ask myself, what about my own future? What about building my own family and life? And that's where the balance comes in. I still love helping my family, but I also learned that I cannot pour from an empty cup. His way of thinking taught me to prepare for my own independence while still respecting my culture. And here's another thing. Growing up in the Philippines, we are raised to take care of the home. We clean, cook, take care of our siblings. That's why if you notice, most Filipinos or Filipinas knows how to do house chores really well and how to take care of their family. And part of that care naturally shows up in the food we prepare. My husband grew up loving steaks, potatoes, and pasta. Me? I'm a Filipino through and through. Give me rice, lumpia, pancit any day. At first, our meals looked completely different, but over time, he was able to adapt. Not to everything, of course. He still tries here and there, but let me tell you this, trying to eat balut, that's a hard no for him. Nope. Because for us Filipinos, food is not just food, it's love, it's traditions, it's how we take care of the people around us. That's why every gathering back home always has a table full of dishes, even if it means stretching the budget. Because sharing food is our way of sharing love and hospitality. While Western food culture, on the other hand, is often simple and more individual, like a good steak with sides or pasta in one plate. Filipino food is communal. It's about putting everything in the middle and everyone sharing together. Those are two very different ways of eating, but learning to appreciate both styles is part of blending or lives together. So, food may seem simple, but it's actually a big part of bridging our cultures. Trying each other's comfort food, respecting what we grew up with, and even laughing at the things we will never agree on. It is one of the easiest and most fun ways to connect across different backgrounds. Here's the truth: intercultural relationships are not about choosing whose culture wins. They are about building something new together, something that honors both backgrounds while creating your own identity as a couple. In my own marriage, I've realized that our differences actually make us stronger. His patience balances my intensity, and my traditions give him a new perspective on family and celebration. So, together, we've learned the love is not about erasing differences, it's about embracing them and letting them teach you. And yes, there are moments of misunderstanding, disagreements, and even frustrations. But every time we overcome those, it strengthens our foundation because at the end of the day, it's not about who's right or wrong, but how willing you both are to listen, to adapt, and to meet in the middle. For me, that's the beauty of an intercultural relationship. It stretches you, it humbles you, it makes you see the world through another lens. And when you find someone who not only accepts your culture but also tries to live it with you, even if it means struggling with chopsticks, asking why rice is always on the table, or laughing at words they cannot pronounce, that's when you know it's real. Love in this kind of relationship is not perfect, but it's powerful. It reminds me that differences don't have to divide us. If you choose patience, respect, and curiosity, those differences can be the very thing that makes your relationship unshakable. So, before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's your funniest or toughest intercultural relationship moment? Drop in the comments below. I'll be reading them. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And again, I'm Dee. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!